Hello everyone, SquaredCircle Wrestling is back with another episode which includes Roman Reigns had enough of Vince McMahon's creative. Wrestling legend takes shots at CM Punk's AEW return. Update on AEW Collision ticket sales following CM Punk announcement. Triple H considering major changes to Raw and Smackdown. Seth Rollins shoots on underselling WWE's new world title. And much more. You can check the complete list with time chapters in the description box below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest news. Our top story for today looks at Roman Reigns had enough of Vince McMahon's creative. Paul Heyman, speaking on Rick Rubin's podcast, explained Reigns had enough of the creative run by Vince McMahon during his babyface run before he took a hiatus during the pandemic. The feud rivalry story with Baron Corbin over dog food and the infamous Suffer and Succotash promo had weighed on him enough to where he said, "I've had enough. I've reached the cap. I can't go any further. As the big dog I've peaked. And as an athlete, I haven't peaked as a performer. I've barely scratched the surface. I have so much more to offer, and since I'm taking time off, I'm not coming back as the same person." Heyman added that he was the one who went to McMahon and came up with the idea to pair him with Roman. McMahon says, "I'm going to put you with somebody. I'm thinking, has he read my contract?" I said, "Well, you know Vince, the options are kind of limited in that. I'm trying to tiptoe into a delicate situation here where I'm about to butt heads with him. I'm thinking Ronda is pregnant. Brock's not coming back with Saudi down. He's certainly not putting me with Roman," and he goes, "I'm envisioning Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. I'm thinking, oh my god, he's gonna pull the trigger on this. He would never pull it with Cena. He would never have allowed Cena to come to the dark side." Next up, wrestling legend takes shots at CM Punk's AEW return. The former Raw general manager Eric Bischoff, on the latest episode of Strictly Business, discussed the lack of drawing power of CM Punk. Bischoff pointed to the ticket sales for All In London and the AEW Collision shows after the premiere in Chicago as examples that will prove that CM Punk has set himself up for just a dramatic failure. CM Punk came in with all this mystique, and he did a good job of creating that mystique and maintaining it. For that I have respect. But once he got there, Punk didn't deliver. The audience has started to turn against him. The rabid CM Punk fan base has diminished substantially. If I was Tony Khan, I would not bring Punk to the UK. I would establish the fact that I could sell 70,000 tickets without him. They sold 65,000 tickets, then they announced him. How many additional tickets have they sold? It's incremental at best, and now they're having a hard time selling out these Collision shows with Punk as a centerpiece. Next up, update on AEW Collision ticket sales following CM Punk announcement. There is a bad news for AEW, as the ticket sales for its upcoming new Collision shows are said to be really terrible, even after CM Punk's return announcement, it was noted. While the announcement of CM Punk has helped move tickets for the Chicago premiere, as per Wrestling Observer Radio's Dave Meltzer, AEW Collision ticket sales elsewhere have been bad. He specifically mentioned there being less than 2,000 sold for the Toronto show, and only 700 for Hamilton, Ontario. Next up, Triple H considering major changes to Raw and Smackdown. It's been rumored that Triple H may be considering adding a more adult theme to the last hour of Raw, and the speculation of changes to the show is set to continue. Now, Ringside News are suggesting that WWE could be looking to create a new atmosphere on SmackDown and Raw, due to multiple of the company's existing contracts are ending up and being up for renegotiation at the end of this year. It was noted, exciting things are happening in the WWE, and there might be new TV sets coming soon. While we await those, let's appreciate the current Raw and Smackdown sets. With the merger and TV rights deals, everything like that is under review. Next up, Seth Rollins shoots on underselling WWE's new world title. The new World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, speaking on My Love Letter to Wrestling, says that he thinks calling the World Heavyweight Championship the work rate title is underselling the belt. He said, "I think just kind of calling it the work rate title is a little bit underselling it. At the end of the day, the title exists because our roster is so chock full of talent. There's too much to have one champion that's not around very much. I think the fact that we have so many worthy contenders, people that could hold this championship, I think that is the reason the title exists." He added, "If we had a weak roster and things weren't good and stuff wasn't hot, it would be a different story. It might be fine to just have one champ who isn't around and didn't want to make live events, but that's just not the case. We're selling out left and right. We're hot from here to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, Paris, France, Mexico City. It doesn't matter. We're selling out left and right, and we need to have a world heavyweight champion on the men's side to represent that level of competition." He continued, "We're going to put in the work to build this title to be as big as any championship in wrestling. We're not naive to think that we don't need to put in that work. We know that it needs to happen, but like I said, you've got the roster and the guys and the crew who are willing to put in time to make it feel as big as it is." Next up, legendary figure warns Drew McIntyre against leaving WWE for AEW. Former two-time WWE champion Drew McIntyre is reportedly unhappy with his current position in the company. There have been rumors that he and WWE are yet to come on terms regarding his new contract. It is also believed that Drew will be leaving for AEW once his WWE contract ends. Former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas, in a recent interview with Inside the Ropes, warns Drew against leaving WWE for AEW. A lot of rumors circulating around Drew McIntyre, hell of a talent. And you know, he's in that WWE wheelhouse as far as looks, he's good on the mic, he checks all the boxes. I just don't want Drew to get Wardlow at if he goes over to AEW. I hate using that term because I think there was a huge missed opportunity with that guy. I'm not saying that people have tuned on him completely, but he's nowhere near getting the interest that he should be getting right now. I think they dropped the big ball. Next up, Booker T buries former WWE superstar for teasing signing with AEW. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, took shots on former Intercontinental Champion Ryback after he teased signing with AEW in a photo on Twitter. He said, "I have been hearing a lot of news, kind of like little chirps. I wouldn't say news, just chirps about Ryback, man. Ryback is trying to, throw his name out there. I saw you posted a photo with, like a silhouette of him in the background with the AEW logo over it. So it seemed like he tried in the lobby to get back in this business, and you think Ryback ever get back in, man? Do you think the fans want to see Ryback? So what? So why would he get back here? Well, he might take a chance on it. I just wonder. Well, then it just went away. Any independent shows or anything like that." He continued, "When Ryback left the company and went out on this world tour to bash everything about wrestling, even to the point where he said the titles aren't real, and now you want to try to get back in it. Guys like that, man, just go home. Just go home." Next up, sad news on Braun Strowman. Former Universal Champion Braun Strowman has revealed that he is dealing with partial paralysis in his left leg. According to a report in Metro, Strowman has also got issues with his foot. He underwent a major neck surgery that could keep him out of action for some time. The wrestler said he needs some time to rest and recover. "You just never know. My feet are really weird. So my right arch is collapsed on my right foot, and my left leg is 15% paralyzed. So I switched to these new shoes. It's a UK brand that is actually helping me strengthen my feet. I feel bad cheating on my Crocs, but I still got my Crocs. I wear those around the house." SquaredCircle Wrestling wishes Braun Strowman a speedy and full recovery. Next up, Hall of Famer says fans take Seth Rollins for granted. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, on a recent episode of Foley's Pod, spoke about Rollins' evolution over the past 2 years and expressed his belief that fans had begun to take the visionary for granted. "I think we had really come to take him for granted. A phenomenal worker. I think last year, I don't even know if Seth was in my top 5. But this attention to character has been a slow build. I remember there were people thinking it was the most embarrassing thing in wrestling, and I was like, he's onto something, and he's trying. He's sinking his teeth into it. It was just so much fun to see him evolve and just take to it." Next up, former WWE star announces pregnancy. Congratulations to former WWE superstar Billie Kay, currently known as Jessica McKay, has revealed that she is expecting her first child in December this year. Jessica was a part of WWE for nearly 6 years with her tag team partner Peyton Royce, with the duo known as the Iconics. Billie and Peyton won the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship once before getting released from their contracts in 2021. Jessica shared the exciting pregnancy news, noting that she's expecting to deliver in December 2023. Next up, Seth Rollins confessed of having better chemistry with Bayley than Becky Lynch. WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, in an interview with Sports Media, believed he did not have much chemistry with his wife's character, but had better chemistry with another female superstar, Bayley. He said, "Even pre-Trip Drip God, Visionary, Monday Night Messiah, it didn't work. Lynch's character is a loner. She doesn't need anybody. To see that character in a relationship doesn't feel good. It never felt good. Especially now, I don't know what it would look like." Seth Rollins and Bayley's characters, their synergy was perfect, and it made perfect sense for them to be in the ring together and do a promo together. Becky's character is not built for a number 2. It's really not. There's no harm in it, but I don't think we need to touch on it ever again. And that is all for today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel SquaredCircle Wrestling for all the latest updates.